Finn Tune of the Week update is out. So many players are enjoying this new update in Dandy's world. However, there are some bugs that have appeared. Let's go through them. Our first bug is to do with Twisted Finn and Twisted Barnaby. As most of you are aware, Twisted Barnaby can attach to tunes, giving them a slowness debuff, an illness debuff, and also revealing them to Twisted Finn for the entire duration that Twisted Barnaby is attached to the tune. However, players have reported that even after Twisted Barnaby has detached itself from the tune, Twisted Finn continues to chase the tune. This user said no matter what we tried, he just wouldn't go away until she had to take a hit and run. So it seems like taking a hit from Twisted Finn breaks the infinite aggro. So if you have a Twisted Finn on your floor, be very careful because there are some problems with Twisted Barnaby causing Twisted Finn to chase you for the whole floor. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Barnaby. As most of you are aware, your teammates can free you from Twisted Barnaby. However, this user and other users have reported this problem, and as you can see, there are no other tunes nearby, and this Finn has a Twisted Barnaby attached to him. However, the game says that they are able to free themselves. As you can see, there is a free message, so players are a bit confused why this prompt is popping up. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Blot's hand. This user has posted this image. If we take a closer look, as you can see, there is a chance for Twisted Blot's hand to spawn on top of Twisted Razzle and Dazzle. I have never seen Twisted Blot's hand behave in this way. There have been cases in the past of Twisteds spawning on top of each other. For example, during our last Halloween event, Twisted Gordy and Twisted Blot would spawn on top of each other. But what's fascinating about this case is that it's Twisted Blot's hand. I wonder if tunes were able to get hit by the hand because the hand is a far distance from the ground. Super cool. Such a cool bug to see. Our next bug is to do with Mime makeup not working on the new arcade machines. This user said Twisteds are able to hear the failed skill check from the Barnaby machine even with Mime makeup on. Let's take a look. As you heard, the Mime makeup activated, which normally means that Twisteds will not be alerted. However, on the new arcade machine, the Twisteds were alerted even though Mime makeup was activated. As you saw, the Twisteds were running towards the machine. So if you're planning to use Mime makeup on the new arcade machines, I wouldn't use the Mime makeup until this bug is patched. Our next bug is to do with the new arcade machines. Some players have experienced a bug where if a Twisted spots you whilst extracting the arcade machine, upon returning to the machine, you can get stuck on the machine. This user said, basically, while I was doing it, Yatta saw me, and when I came back, the minigame didn't show up and the machine wasn't filling up. I was stuck until a Finn came and helped. Let's take a look. As you can see, this Finn is stuck on the arcade machine. The machine is not filling up. This is a duo machine, and this Finn player was able to help out completing the machine. Another bug to do with the arcade machine is the skill check window staying on the screen for the whole floor. And this is how it happened. This user said basically, I clicked to go back to extracting in the arcade after making a mistake, but I clicked at the exact moments the other tune finished the machine. It was a double arcade machine and the arcade screen glitched on my screen, only disappearing when we advanced to the next floor. Let's take a look at what happened. This is a double arcade machine. The tune left the machine, then started extracting the machine again, just as the other tune on the double machine completed the machine, which caused the skill check window to stay on the screen. And as you can see, the skill check window stayed on the screen up until the player enters the elevator. As you can see, the gold coins have glitched on the right hand corner. What an interesting bug to occur. Honestly, it does look very distracting to have this on your screen as you're trying to run to the elevator during panic mode. Hopefully the dev team can figure out why the arcade window is staying on the screen of some players. Our next bug is to do with Finn's Tune of the Week quest. So many players have reported this problem. This user said, why can't I complete Finn's Tune of the Week second quest even though I already completed the first quest and encounter an icon leak as Finn? And when we take a closer look, players are experiencing a bug where the second quest of Finn's Tune of the Week, where you need to encounter the icon leak floor, is not counting for quite a few players. I've also seen some bug reports of the third quest where you need to complete 10 machines in a run with the fishing rod trinket equipped, not counting as well. So there is some data loss problems happening. So if you are experiencing any of these problems, remember there are other players experiencing them too. Hopefully the dev team can swiftly figure out what is going on with the quests. Our next bug is to do with the Barnaby arcade game in the Garden View lobby. This user said Barnaby double jumping. Let's take a look at what happened. So players have reported that Barnaby is double jumping, causing the game to end. As we saw, Barnaby double jumped. Even though players are reporting that they are only jumping once, the game for some reason is making them jump twice. The dev team are aware of the problem with double jumping. Scribbles, who is a developer, said this is also something we've been working to fix, so the dev team are aware. Another bug to do with the Barnaby arcade game in the lobby is this. This user said, I just want to report a Swing Barnaby bug. Sometimes when you play it, you get 2 points from the seaweed. Let's take a look. And it is true, when Barnaby went through the seaweeds, this player got 2 points instead of 1 point. So this player is experiencing double points when playing the Barnaby game. That's definitely a big problem because you're supposed to only get 1 point each time, not 2. I wonder how common this problem is. We have to remember that you do get a thin skin at 100 points. So this double points bug could make it easier to get the thin skin, which is a big problem. Another problem to do with the Barnaby arcade game is players feeling nauseous whilst playing the arcade game. This user said, not much of a bug, but I've been getting quite nauseous while playing Swimmy Barnaby. I think it's the angle and the movement, but I feel very sick playing it and keep having to quit. And this is not an isolated case. Another user has expressed something similar, saying the perspective is neat but disorientating and more of a hindrance than a neat detail. So this angle of the arcade game is giving negative feelings to players. I wonder if the dev team will ever change the angle of the arcade game window in response to these reports. We'll just have to wait and see. Another bug to do with the Barnaby arcade game, when you're playing the arcade machine in the lobby, you can change your camera settings and then play the arcade machine in a third person sort of view. As you can see, I am able to play the game with my mouse whilst also seeing the rest of the Garden View lobby. A very interesting bug. Another bug to do with the arcade machine in the lobby is this. Let's take a look. This user said, is this a bug? Let's see what they're talking about. So when playing the Barnaby game in the lobby, you can see the toon models clipping through the screen, as you can see, which is very distracting. Considering you need a score of 100 points to get the skin, other players can distract you when their model is clipping through the screen, as you can see. A solution to this would be to play in a private server, and another user has expressed their dislike to the clipping. If we take a closer look, Bassie's hat has completely removed the background of the game. This is very distracting. Hopefully the dev team can sort out this problem because players do need to keep their concentration to get 100 points for the thin skin. Our next bug is to do with the new starter titles for new players. Old players are getting stuck with the new player titles. As you can see, this user said, been playing for 2 years. What is this, bro? Why am I a blossoming bud or whatever? Now I can't change my titles and stuff. And as you can see, this user has the blossoming bud title, even though they are a very old player. Another user has experienced the same problem. They said, okay, so I don't know if this is a bug or not, but apparently I need 1000 ICO to change titles. And as you can see, the game says you must earn 1000 iCore to change titles, so experienced players are being stuck with new player titles and they must earn iCore to be able to change their titles. Super weird bug. These titles are only supposed to be for new players. Our next bug is to do with Finn's Reef Explorer skin. This user said the exclusive Finn skin is bugged because Finn's trail is not working in lobby and roleplay, but in-game it works. Let's take a look. So Finn's Robux skin is supposed to have a trail, but in the Garden View lobby, the trail does not appear. As you can see, there is no trail. Thankfully, in runs, the trail does show, as you can see. I wonder why the trail does not show in the Garden View lobby. Hopefully the dev team can correct that problem soon so players can enjoy the trail in the Garden View lobby. Our last bug is to do with Finn's new skin, Reef Explorer. There's something wrong with the run animation. This user said, is it just me or is something wrong with Finn's animation? He's like jolting backwards. As you can see, when the new skin runs, the run animation is jolting backwards. The whole body is snapping backwards. It does look unnatural and unintentional.